What up, Internet? Uh, it's one of those days where it's too good to be true. I just got done doing a live session, obviously, uh, trying to work my way through this flu that I have. Today I'm at around 70% right now, but 70% is good enough for me to put some trades on, opposed to me at what happened to me on Friday. Literally hallucinated, thought I was out of a position where I had added to it, and I got freaking hammered. So I was a little scared to put some trades on today, but stayed focused, got paid pre-market. If you guys listened to me on the show this morning, had some SMR and USAR this morning. And then we just pivoted right back into picking stocks off the scanner. Long SID-U, crushed this ALMS on a short, and traded some SOPA by accident. I didn't mean to put the trade on, but I showed you how, even if you make a mistake, if you use VWAP and prior day VWAP, you could work yourself through it. I accidentally bought it. I thought it was going green, and I was up there buying it at 297. And I was like, all right, I made a mistake. It'll probably pull back to 275. If it holds, I'm going to make my stand. We bought more at 275, more at 275, more at 275. It ripped back to that area. We dumped this thing. And right now I'm flat, and we're having a gay old time. Wilma, Happy New Year, everybody. Just happy to be here. Me and my wife are battling some nasty, nasty flu. Yeah, we got everything you could possibly have wrong with you except the fever. We're freezing, we're hot, we're sweating, we're coughing, we're sneezing, miserable, just no fever. So it's some bizarre new strain apparently going around. But the wonderful thing about what we do here, even at not full strength, we throw the computer on. The trade doesn't know that I'm sick. The setups still work. You stay focused on a couple of ideas. And we were having this conversation about Watchlist today, right? You guys know about SID-U? So this has been our go-to name for the last, about 10 days. Why? Because it broke the fuck out, right? And it's been on fire. Traded it. If a stock continues to cooperate, you go with it. And the flip side of that script is open. I was trading this stock every day, relentlessly, for weeks on end. Even when it was going down, we were finding opportunities. And then suddenly, about a week and a half ago, or maybe a couple of weeks, the volume started drying up. The intraday moves weren't so good. You know what we do? We kick it off the watch list. And now we don't care. And hopefully, actually, I don't care if it does or not. But when it wakes up again and starts trading better, maybe we'll go back to it. And that's trading, my friends. You go to where the money's at. And that's what volume weighted average price is all about. So you go where the action is. And so how do we find ALMS? Well, scanners. And that scanner that you think exists that spits out winners, it doesn't exist. There's no scanner that spits out the winner. It spits out the stock that's unusually active. And then you use the skill set that you possess to trade it. So ALMS came across the scanner, was ripping all morning. And my first instinct was, okay, when do I short it? Because any stock that's up over 100% is usually a pump and dump piece of shit. And if you're going to short stocks in a market that never goes down, you probably want to go with the stock that's already up 150 or 200%. And then when do you go short? Because first it was a wonderful long, fake them out, shake them out, VWAP break. When do you go short? Breaks VWAP, rallies, rolls, and then breaks back under the VWAP. So now at these prices here, we could identify our risk by shorting it at 1890, using the 1980 and the 2015 as our stops. And our target was, let me show it to you on the 1 minute. Originally, first target was prior day VWAP. Got it. And then our next target was the 1738, where it pivoted. Got it. And then it broke there. Look where it did. It just tested the 1738 exactly. And then it rolled over. And some people just got short again. I'm not short. I'm not in any positions right now because I've already had my fun with the day. And then, of course, my new pal, Sid U, right? So going back to this trade, Sid U. Anybody know what they do? Exactly. Nobody cares. It's a guy named Sid and his friends. Sid and us launched a company. And this company makes rubberized Star Trek facsimile phasers. That's what they do. Sid and his friends, Sid Us Space Incorporated, right? Sid and his friends, Sid Us Space, the Final Frontier. And this company, what they do is they make rubberized facsimiles of the original Star Trek series phasers. And that's what they do. Does anybody know if that's a true story or not? Who cares, right? Because the stock continues to pay us because it does this. Fake them out, shake them out, VWAP break, got paid. Rolls over, got stopped out. Okay. Oh, look, it just fake them out, shake them out, VWAP break. Join it. Got paid. Starts ripping, rolls over, got stopped out. Oh, look, fake them out, shake them out, VWAP break. Buy it again. Rips. And now my friends are all still in it because it still hasn't sold off. And now the stop is right here at 463. And Sid U continues to be our favorite stock until it's not. So tomorrow, my friends, when you ask me, what's on the watch list? Sid U. Until further notice. SMR, drone stocks, space rockets, robots, quantum. And I'm going to eat some oatmeal now. Bear with me. Happy New Year. Hope you're all healthy. You didn't catch whatever the hell me and my wife have. So again, wonderful trading environment to start the year. We are ripping all over the place, never wanting for ideas. 2025 was phenomenal. 2026 off to an amazing start. Activity abound, ripping, and just let me chew my food, and we'll have a real conversation about all this stuff. And I hope you guys are having a good start to your year. Hey. Okay. Yeah. We're going to make a nice beef stew. All right, listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you are in the Sid U, you are required by law to sell right here at $5. Don't be insane. Take the money. This has been a wonderful trade. You get to a big fat whole number. Sell, sell, sell. Raise your stop to that 475 area. Give yourself a little bit of quarter, maybe a quarter worth of risk, because this stock has been on fuego. And let me show you the reason that I still like it. Well, first of all, I love when stocks come out of the Andy Dufresne pattern. You know about that, right? So here's your weekly. And doesn't get more Andy Dufresne than that garbage, right? I love it when the garbage stocks come out of the Andy Dufresne. If you don't know what the Andy Dufresne pattern is, let me explain. So let me just show it you on a bigger time frame. Hang on. Okay, so this is split adjusted price. Obviously, the stock's never been as high as 29.70. It's a dog shit piece of garbage. Nobody knows what they do. And by the way, if you believe the story about the Star Trek thing, I just made that off the top of my head. The point is, I don't care what companies do, except I like to know what industry they're in. Drone stocks, big fan of drones going into for the last couple of years. You know the whole idea. Space rockets, robots, quantum AI, chips, nuclear, silver, and drones. That's about 250 stocks right there. That's my focus from 2025. It was also my focus in 2024. If you guys knew me in 2023, you knew that I was the first one to call this thing that we do the degenerate economy, even though there's a guy out there trying to claim that he created that phrase. It was me. I'm also the guy that was talking about silver at $14 an ounce. I'm no Johnny come lately when it comes to silver. Literally been buying it since 1987 when I was a baseball card guy. But if you do have your ears on right now, there's going to be a lot of changes in 2026. Okay? Here's one of the changes, and I'm going to ask you guys sincerely to help me out here. We do a thing called the schmooze on Thursday nights. I think you guys are familiar with it. My friend Solid and I are very passionate about helping people trade and learning how to make money. Oh, no, I don't email emails. So I'll get to that point in a second. We were talking about you. Did you just show up? You missed all the fun. Did you just show up, Moonir? Or I'll call you Mooney. Did you just show up? Because you missed all the fun. Tell them what you missed. We were talking about you because you asked a lot of questions yesterday, and they were good questions, yet not good questions. Because nobody cares about some of the stuff that you think you should care about. Nobody cares the difference between short covering and buying, because VWAP just takes it all into consideration. Nobody cares what these companies do. Nobody cares about Watchlist. Nobody cares about emails. What you care about is showing up here at 8 o'clock in the morning and getting a feel for what the market's going to do. And then you just watch stocks go by, and then you learn. Once you learn how to trade, you could take any stock, ALMS, SIDU, USAR, SMR, QQQ. Well, I'm not yelling at you for being late. That's okay. Listen. But when I was reading all your questions, and listen, you're ahead of the game. You're in a good place because you ask questions. The person that doesn't ask questions never learns. But a lot of the things that you were asking are irrelevant, and that's part of what we do here. We cut through all the bullshit of the entire market because that's what it is. All of it's bullshit. That's why, does anybody really care if Sid Yu is a guy named Sid and his friends who launched a phaser facsimile company? Who gives a shit? Nobody cares what these companies do. We're traders. It's letters and numbers, and we use VWAP and price action to make money, right? So that's where you want to focus your attention. So getting an email in the beginning of the day, that email is also detriment to of making money. Why? Because when you read this email, right, you assume, and I know people assume, hey, he must like this stock. That's why it's on the email. Nope. Because people are default bullish, right? I'm not default anything. I'm default action. If there's action, I want to be near that stock. That's all the watch list is. So every day, the watch list is the same exact watch list as it was yesterday, the day before, and the day before, and the year before, and the year before that. The only thing that's going to be different each morning is earnings. So I will tell you the watch list for next week. It'll be every stock that I just mentioned and Delta Airlines. And the next day after that, it'll be JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, and Citibank. and every stock that I just mentioned. And then when there are no earnings reports, it's all those stocks that I just mentioned. And then I have a scanner that scans for high volume activity, like this wonderful trade on ALMS. I didn't even know this stock existed until this morning. Why? Because it went by on the scanner. So when you saw ALMS going on the scanner, right, the first trade was long, right? First trade was long. Faux show, bro, VWAP break. And then what if you just thought that, hey, he loves this stock? No, then I'm shorting the shit out of it and crushing everybody's head. That's what you want to be. You want to understand price action around VWAP, price action around VWAP. So you want to be able to take something off a scanner that you've never heard of, make money on the way up, get out before the open market opens up, because you never know what's going to happen at the open, tanks at the open, establishes itself as a short, breaks back under the VWAP. We're shorting, getting paid, getting paid, getting paid, getting paid. That's what I'm saying. So the watch list, right? And if I gave you the watch list every day, space rockets, robots, quantum, AI, chips, drones, and nuclear. You know how many stocks that is? It's about 150. And every one of those stocks I'm looking at right now. You know why? Because I have them all on my screen. That's why I have 5 monitors. But what I try to focus on is the one that has the most volume and the ones that are cooperating lately, like this SIDU. How you like me selling that SIDU at $5, friends? So that's where you're supposed to say, Kenny, nice call. What a sell at $5. You see that? That's just knowing what you're doing, right? That's part of what you just witnessed right there. That's how we do what we do here, right? Why do I have 5 monitors? Because I need 7. Because I have 1 monitor, which is all watch list. I got this monitor, where's my screen, and some market maker boxes. I got 2 other scanners running on a thing with a big block scanner. I got my 2 chat rooms running. I got my 3 chat rooms running on the other screen. There you go. All right, so let's get back to the main point here. Your questions yesterday, irrelevant, right? They were, because I like questions, but you are coming from the school of what you think means something. Nothing means anything. Only thing that matters is price action. That's it. It's not about the economy. It's not about who the president is. It's not about where the volume's coming from, whether it's short covering or buying. None of it matters. What matters is what the price is and what you're going to do about it, and where you're going to place your stops and what you think what your targets are. That's it. That's it. That's all that matters. Nothing else matters. Nothing else will ever matter ever again. And that's where you want to be. All right, so let's get back to the main idea here, right? So, for instance, before I go any further, is what I was trying to get to the point, right? So Thursday nights, we do this thing called the schmooze, and it was born out of me and Solid sitting around, and we were like, wow, these weekly options are pretty cool. Now we could trade earnings reversals on Fridays with options. Let's prepare for what we think is going to happen on Friday tonight. And we got together, and then we invited a couple of friends, and then it became a thing. And now it's a thing, right? We get together Thursday nights. We have a couple of cocktails. We have a good time with it. We have some guests on. We prepare our attack for the next day. We're gonna go back to the schmooze, but the schmooze now is gonna be a paid for product. Obviously, if you're a member of the room, a yearly member of the room, you get access. But instead of having to pay for something, because I'm not about that. I'm about getting my name out there and being the natural. You guys ever see The Natural? When he says, hey, why do you try so hard and why do you play this way? He says, when a kid sees me in the street, I want him to point that at me and say, there goes the best that's ever been. That's my motivation. So to help me on that, there's a website called StockTwits, which is full of a bunch of nudniks and psychopaths and degenerate bots and people who think they know what they're doing, right? I want to take that site over.
I want to be known as the man who, right? So as an admission fee, everybody needs to go on StockTwits. And if you haven't gone there yet, go there right now. StockTwits. I'm the degenerate of the year, right? Follow me. Hit the Bid Radio, the degenerate of the year, right? That's me. Follow me, right? And then I want you to go on there every day and post. And you post something like, at Hit the Bid Radio has been talking about owning silver since $14 an ounce. He got us into AGQ at $43 with a $200 target. Here it is at $200. The man who got me into silver at $40. Sorry, AGQ at $40. Also, the man who told people to buy AMD at $5. That's me. Because you know what I hate? You know what I hate? I hate that fucking email that I get every goddamn day about the man who. Because it's not a picture of me. It's some other schmuck. I'm the man who. I'm the man who. I'm the man who got people into AMD at $5. So, and I get that email. The man who told people to buy AMD is telling you to buy this. But how long you want to wait? How long are you going to wait? You're going to wait 8 years? It's not about that. I already gave it to you. Sid Yu, where were you 2 days ago? Stock's up 40%. What do you want? Right? Some guys are in the stock at 270. Right? Where were you? Where were you? Oh, so then how are you going to get a 10x trade if you keep selling? Where were you when I told people to buy AGQ at $43? Now it's at $200. Oh, because you sold it. So if you're going to sell the winner too early, then you're not going to make a 10x trade, right? So what's the point? What's the point of having that conversation? You want to make money, or you want to talk about what may or may not happen? Who cares? You want to make money? Buy the Qs. I'll see you in 3 years. You know where they're going to be? 1,000. You'll make 400 points. Can you afford to buy 1,000 shares of the QQQ? Put up. You got $6.2 million lying around because it'll be worth $10 million. It's not about that, right? That's what I was saying. When I saw your questions, they were kind of irrelevant. I'm not making fun of you, but what I try to do in this room is break down all the bullshit that this industry spews, because it's all bullshit, all of it. Earnings are bullshit. Interest rates are bullshit. All of it. All of it's bullshit. The only thing that matters is algorithmic price action, because that's what runs the market. You want to make money, or you want to fuck around? You want to make money, or you want to guess? Right? Nobody knows what's going to happen, right? Like when I gave people a VICR because the one analyst that I respect on the street told me to buy the stock. And you know what? It wasn't his opinion, right? It wasn't his opinion. When I saw an Andy Dufresne Kardashian bottom, and I was like, wow, not only do I respect this opinion of an analyst who said this is going to be some juggernaut company, I bought it because of this. Faux show, bro, multiple time frame VWAP, Andy Dufresne, ass crack, Kardashian bottom. That's what I want to do. And now look at it. And my analyst is telling me this thing's going to 500, and I'm not even in this trade. And congratulations if you're in it still. Man, oh man. I don't know why I tacked on 30 points yesterday, but fucking awesome. And if you want a cheap stock that I do think it's about to go 2x, NVTS, but wait for it to pull back. This stock will be $20 probably this year. It's not hard to me. It's not hard for me to tell you, give you a couple of names and say they're probably going to go up. You know, we're in a bull market, right? Right. You know what you should do is take a couple of Scrabble. You have got Scrabble in the house. Reach into the Scrabble bag, pick out three or four letters, and buy that stock. You got a good chance of it going up. You know why? Because the market doesn't go down anymore. See, that's why that conversation is moot. You want to make money every day, right? Then you follow the rules of this fantastic trade that we have, the faux show bros and the blow off tops and the finger of God, right? And then it's about staying with the individual name, right? So USAR today, right? First trade I did this morning, right? Because it was hot. It's been hot the last couple of days, right? We traded USAR yesterday. We traded SMR yesterday. So I went right back to it. Do you need an email to be reminded about USAR and SMR? We've only been talking about it for the last 2 years. You know it's on the watch list, right? Bang. Breaks the range, holds the range, breaks the range, buy it. 1641, got us up to 1675. Made a little bit of money right there, right? And then I don't like holding stocks into the open. So we sold it. And then within 3 minutes, it faux showed. Look what it did. It broke that recent low, came right back, and then broke VWAP. Buy it. 1635. Got you up to 17 and a quarter. You sell a little bit when it gets back to the high of the pre-market. You sell some at 17 because that's what we do. At 1721, you're thinking 1750, but oh, wait, then it rolls back over. What do you do? Sell it. There's rules. There's rules to the game, right? So then you sold it, and you're like, oh, good thing I sold it. The person who thinks that you just can buy stocks and hold them all day go, but you said this thing was going to go to 17. But you said. Don't be trading you said shit. I don't give a shit what I say, right? It's what I'm doing and what you're doing, right? I don't give a shit, right? And then just as somebody was complaining, oh, I thought this thing was going to go to 1750. Oh, my God. And then it faux show bros again. Fake them out, shake them out, VWAP break. Buy it. Don't wait for me. There's the trade again, 1675. Oh, and then it went down after I bought it. Oh, but your stops are here and here. That's a loser trader who sold it right there. Loser. Proper stops are prior candles, right? Right? So you missed the first one. There's the fake them out. There's the shake them out. And then VWAP test, pulls back, holds the fake out area, and there's your new rebuy. Oh, it went up and then it went back down. Oh. Loser, sold it right there. The stop is here, not there. It's here and there. You got to let it breathe. And then it tests from on top, rallies, tests again on top just to check your strength. Or as Solid says, I'll check, price check. And look how wonderful the next leg up was, because all the people that sold it, ooh, they got right back in, and inevitably it rolled over and died anyway. But it doesn't die with you in it because you know proper trading. Stock breaks down back under the 17, you're dumping it. Back to the VWAP, it's over. Right? Now you could revisit it again. So this game that we play, it's a game. It's a video game. You don't want to take it too serious, right? It's like a video game. I don't play video games except for this one. I haven't been good at video games since Atari Combat, if you guys know. Atari 2600, that's kind of where I left my games. I'm spastic with my left hand. That's why I couldn't play the piano. But it's a video game. It's a video game. That's all it is. And you have to stay with 3 or 4 names. So the reason I dislike sending emails in the morning is that I know how people think. They think, oh, wait, there's 5 stocks on this list. He must love these stocks. I might like it for 20 minutes, and then I'm shoving them down your throat 2 hours later. And you're thinking, but I read on the email that you thought the stock was going to go to 20 today. Yeah, I did at 8 o'clock in the morning. And now I'm shorting it and shoving it down your throat. That's trading. That's real trading. Understanding price action. Being able to take both sides of a trade. That's when you're savvy. Right? So let's go back to this whole thing on stock twits. I want you guys all, I want to flood this goddamn website with @HitTheBidRadio and Solid Jello comments. You tell them who we are, and you tell them hell's coming with us. And if you don't know that reference, get the hell out of here. Solid and I are taking over this industry. We're taking over TikTok. We're taking over YouTube. We're taking over stock twits, Twitter. Nobody does what we do. Nobody. We navigate the market live, and we do it better than anybody in this industry. There is not even a second place. Every trade going to work? No. But we navigate these moves better than anybody else. And you know what makes me better than everybody else? I know that I suck. I know nothing. And it's a wonderful feeling. I know nothing. I have no idea what's going to happen next. I just know where I'm going to get out, if I'm right and if I'm wrong. That's it. That's it. Someone say, hey, man, how'd you know about this silver trade? Because 50 gets you 80. What does that mean? Because 50 gets you 80. What does that mean? 50 gets you 80. In the world of finance, when a stock or a financial product breaks the wonderful, massive number 50, whatever that product or thing is, tends to go to 80. Even the silver guys that I hang with, these old dudes, I was like, guys, man, if we can get over 50, we're going to go to 80. And they're like, why? I'm going, because 50 gets you 80. Nobody knew what I was talking about. And look what happened to silver. 50 got you 80. You just made up for 22 years of sitting around in 3 weeks. Now I hope I'm right about 80 getting you 120. That's why I'm not selling silver. I think we're going to 120. And here, this fuckers. We get 120 on silver. You know where we're going next? Say it. 180. 120 gets you 180. You know what 180 gets you? You know what 180 gets you? 250. Woo! And when silver's at 250, I'll see you on an island somewhere. That's when I sell. But all we can do right now as little peons, we're little pikers in the big pool of institutional trading, right? All we can do is join in. Oh, Kenny, I thought you liked this stock. I did for the last 2.5 days, USAR. Now I don't like it at all because it's under VWAP and testing from underneath. There's nothing I like about this anymore. Right? Love an SMR this morning. I haven't even checked it yet. Good thing I sold it up there at $20.16. How do you like me now? Huh? I like me. You're not going to get any trade perfect. That's why you never get out at one price. Right? And it's certainly not about finding the next stock that's about to do something, because you're not going to own it anyway. You want to make money today, tomorrow, and the next day, or you want to buy a stock and hope it goes up 10x in the next 3 years? Right? How long you been here? You've been here for a couple of weeks. Have I told you to buy AGQ? Right? Well, I don't know how long you've been here, but probably a couple of weeks. You heard me mention Sid U. Anyway, that's my point. My point is nobody knows anything. We know more than most. If I could guarantee a trade, I can. UVXY short. There you go. Guaranteed. But I learned firsthand how to lose money on shorting UVXY. Jeff Bishop knows what I'm talking about. He got crushed shorting premium a couple of years ago, and I got crushed last year because I had close to 50,000 shares. Think about it. 50,000 shares of UVXY short. Irresponsible. Completely irresponsible. I didn't have the money to cover that shit. And it went 30 points against me. Not fun. So now what we try to do each day is navigate this ebb and flow and this chop that we see every day. Most people get annihilated in the chop. We trade the chop because we understand that stocks can go up for 3 hours and then roll over and die later that day. And then sometime in the afternoon at 3:30 to 4 o'clock can make the whole thing right back up in your face. That's trading. So these emails that we send and blah, 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 and what we think is going to happen, blah, 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 who cares? I don't. I know ONDS is fun to trade, right? How many times can I mention the stock? Put it on the watch list. Now it's on there. Bang. Right? You guys know USAR? Of course you do. You know SMR, you know LKLO. How about some drone stocks? You know Jedi, you know drones, right? And let's take FJet as an example, right? We got one guy in here, he's bag holding this thing because I don't know why. So I was like, listen, if the stock can hold 750, you got a chance of it getting back to $10. And then the next day, what does it do? Fake them out, shake them out, VWAP break, 1 minute multi-day VWAP reversal. And if my man's out there who made fun of me listening to the Smiths, if your dollar cost average today, you got out of the stock and you made money. And that's the perils of a bull market too. You get paid for being irresponsible. You shouldn't hold long trades that go against you unless you're in love with the company and you're planning to hold it. But generally, as a day trader, you're not supposed to hold the losing position because it usually gets worse. But in a market that is so awesome as the one we're in, yeah. Yeah, I love the Smiths. Got a problem with that? By the way, speaking of stocks that we loved yesterday, Alcoa. I thought this thing would be down today because of the parabolic move it had yesterday. Look at this fucker. I gave this one to you about 2 months ago. And if you guys read the article about me, right? Where's that article that was written about me? Glick loves Alcoa. I don't know. Somebody wrote an article about me. It's one of my favorite stocks on the planet. I've been waiting for 3 years for this breakout. Glick. If I had one stock to buy, it'd be Alcoa. And also, I goes on and on about my love affair with AMD at $5. Telling people to buy AMD at $5. By the way, you see what this is? This is a blue sky breakout. Look at this thing. We just went from 3-year lows to 3-year highs in a matter of 3 months. Sick. Where were you? Where were you? You see what I'm saying? Every trade could be your greatest trade of your life or your worst nightmare. And you want to know the ironic nature of this market, right? You know what the best trade of the day yesterday was in a raging bull market? AMD short. Remember it from yesterday? Way back yesterday, right? Gapped up, broke VWAP, started a very innocent trade, right? Gapped up stock, breaks VWAP, and gets crushed right to the prior day VWAP. Couldn't hold it. And next thing you know, one of the greatest stocks on the planet nobody wants it now for the last 2 days. Why? Because it's up 3 billion% and people are taking profits today in the last couple of days. But you see that right there? See what you just noticed right here? The finger of God. When I explained to you earlier, the faux show bro, when the fake out shakeout holds prior day VWAP, like the Qs, right? You faux showed at prior day VWAP, then you broke above VWAP. That confirms that this faux show bro is probably going to bro. And you broed. And you got paid. That trade's over now. And look where you came back to. Hi. That's what I'm talking about, friends. It's not a coincidence. Look where the pullback went to the exact price. You're talking about an index that's comprised of 100 different great stocks, yet it went to come on. The whole market's pre-programmed. Every day I show it to you. So all you got to do is accept that in your life. The market's rigged. Play the rigging. And that's it. It's the same shit every single day. This ain't about buying a stock and hoping it goes 10x in the next year and a half. Who cares? You're not going to own it anyway. Here, buy DRNZ. I'll see you next year. The stock will probably be up 100%. You see what I'm saying? You understand where I'm going? And I don't want to sound confrontational with you or anybody. But you got to be frosty. You got to be on point. This is the attitude to trade. We could all be friends later, right? Price action. It's the only thing that matters. Ain't about my opinion. My opinion stinks. I'm a shorter trapped in a bull market. My opinion sucks. Some of these stocks are up, tens of thousands of percent since I thought they were garbage. But if the market's going to continue to go up every day, every year, forever, I'm not going to fight it. I don't care what my opinion is. Man, this can't keep going up like this. Yeah, I guess it can. And by the way, I'm not joking about NVTS, right? It's one of the most undervalued chip stocks on the planet. And they're getting taken over by NVIDIA. Are they? I don't know. Maybe. I read about that 2 years ago. I'm still waiting. I bought the stock 2 years ago. They were supposedly getting taken over by NVIDIA. I'm still waiting. Maybe this is the year. I don't know. But the stock continues to pay you on a daily basis. So what's not to like? Every time it pulls back, they buy it. Right? Since that rumor started, right? What's it, 2 years ago already? A year ago, year and a half ago? Sorry, it was actually older than that. We were in the stock back 3 years ago now. When was that first rumor? Yeah, right around here. Yeah, 2023. Still waiting. But while we're waiting for the stock to get taken over, it's had some pretty sick moves. And it trades well, and it has options. And it's a stock like this, NVTS, that you nail it on a Friday with a 10-cent option, and the stock pops 50 cents, and you make 5x. Do you understand what I just said? Do you understand what I just said? I just told you a stock can go up 50 cents, and you can make 5 or 10 extra money if it happens on a Friday. Do you understand what I just said? Do you understand what I just said? Right? It's not about the stock finding a $3 stock that goes to $9 to make 300%. You trade a stock like NVTS on a Friday, right? With a 50-cent option right here, NVTS. So if this was Friday, right? If this was Friday, the 950 call would be only 6 or 7 cents. Are you following? Right? So NVTS, if this was Friday, today's Tuesday. If this was Friday, this option would be dirt cheap. Why? Because it's expiring at 4 p.m. that day. But if the stock faux show bros and breaks that 935 area and you're buying a 950 call for a nickel, and then the stock goes to $10, that nickel turns into 50 cents. Do you understand? That's 10 times your money in a day. Get it? There's 10 baggers every day. It ain't about finding some $4 stock. Oh, what do you think is going to be the next big stock to go? Who cares? Nobody knows. I'm not going to pretend to know. Who gives a shit? Give me NVTS. Give me a clove on a Friday at 2 cents. How about that Ford trade? Remember that Ford trade on a Friday? We were singing songs about it for 3 years. was a 1 cent option. It went to $2. That's 200,000% in a day. Forgot what the reason was that day a couple of years ago. So it was a 2 cent option with the $2, 100 times your money. They're all over the place. It's about this trade that we got. And then because the knowledge that we give you, you create your own luck. You create it. Opportunity meets preparation and education. And that's your wealth. And that's why your job is to go and scroll through the numbers. And that's why the watch list, if you need me to go over it, here, I'll show you the watch list. You want to see a watch list? Yeah, I'll give you a watch list. Well, I'll give you a watch list. Here it is. This is part of my watch list. You see that screen? There it is. So every day I'm looking at that. And I see what sectors are hot. I take a look right there. I can tell you right where I want to be. I break them up into sectors. The hot ones, I change the list a little bit every day. I got 2 screens full of that shit. How many trades are you going to do in a day, right? What do you need? What do you need? Yesterday was a joke. I put like 20 stocks on the watch list just to fuck around. Who cares? Who cares? I traded one of those names. One. I never heard of ALMS today. It took me 5 seconds to see what I wanted to do with it. That's where you want to be. So name any stock right now. It's on your watch list, right? AGQ is on your watch list every day, right? So buy on a Friday afternoon. Buy what? Buy what? You're so close, but you're so far. You're so close, but you're so... Buy what? You're not getting it, are you? It's all right. It's not for everybody. The idea is every stock is a trade. It doesn't matter. We want to focus on stocks that have volume, right? Here. There's the scanner. There's where my volume is, right? Here's another scanner. Where's the volume at? And that's where I go looking, right? I know what stocks are in play every day, and that's where I focus. I'm not buying anything on a Friday. It's if the stock does the faux show, bro, VWAP break on a Friday, and it's breaking a half number, then yes, you buy it on a Friday. Do you get it? You understand what I'm saying? Like it could be USAR, right? You're not going to not check it now, right? USAR. How many times is going to stock pay you in 3 days? Like 6 different times, right? Or SIDU for that matter. Now that this has become our new go-to stock, right? Look, take a look at SIDU. Oh, I thought SIDU had options. Oh, well, that sucks. No, I can't give you the example then. But yeah, something even stupid as Clove, right? See these options? They're dirt cheap. Stock's under 250 on a Friday, breaks 250. You could buy an option at 2 cents. Stock goes up 10 cents. You know what that is? That's 500%. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if you just said, oh, so should I buy Clove right now? No. Because you don't know. Because you don't know. You wait till Friday and you look at stocks that have half-point increment options. And that's what I say. This is a learning process, right? You were asking questions that were good questions, but irrelevant. And it's definitely not finding the next $4 stock that's going to go to 50. They'll come. They always do. It's about grinding it out, making money every day, and then being in the right place at the right time when that opportunity comes. And for all we know, it could be core weave short. As this stock plummets off the face of the earth,
And all those bears that were saying, oh, this is a great short, it's a great short, who lost their homes, are now coming back with vengeance. And for all we know, this stock's about to break down under that 65 and drop right back to 40. Could happen on a Friday, right? So if this stock, and again, I'm just giving you an example, so CoreWeave, let's go $14. You want to buy a $67 put now and guess that it's going to go, or you go check it on Friday, and maybe Friday it's breaking down, then you buy the 67 put for 10 cents. The stock plummets 5 points, and your 10-cent option goes to $5. That's where you want to be. When I say thinking is overrated, you want to prepare, but you don't want to act on it until the trade shows itself. So preparation, and by the way, I can't believe I'm even saying this again, but look at this. Here. This fucking piece of shit right here, right? How many times did we trade it today? 3 or 4 times, right? Even this garbage. And this is legitimately not a real company. Anybody know what SOPA is? Nobody knows. SOPA, SIDU, it's all the bullshit. It's all the same bullshit. But you know we had a good trade with it earlier, so you went and looked at it. Oh, shit, look what it just did. Faux show and broke back above that price. Buy it right there. You're not buying it here. The guy that bought it here is selling it to you here. Doesn't mean it can't go higher, but just by going and checking on the stocks that you've been trading, oh, look, we traded it once here, traded it twice, 3 times, and then it rolled over and died. We sold it last time, and oh my God, it went all the way back to the original price. And then it did the faux show, and you could have bought it here at 269 with a whopping 4-cent risk, and the stock goes up 30 cents. If you can risk 4 cents and make 30 on every trade you ever do, you'll make money as a trader. 4-cent risk, 30-cent reward, all day. Yeah, I got another one for you. Ready? AZI. Woo. Holy shit. What's this? I don't know. I just found it. I just saw it screaming up the scanner. We're obviously late, so you don't buy it. If I had seen it before, look at that. Faux show, bro, at VWAP. Oh, I would have loved to buy it there at 315, risking a whole 7 cents, and the stock went up 40%. All right, cool. Now we got a new one to look at. Stock tanks again, comes back to the VWAP. Faux show bros down here. Next thing you know, we got an idea. And that's how you find ideas. What the hell is AZI? I don't know. Nobody cares. And look at the SOPA, right? I still don't know what this stock is. I've been trading this stock, no joke, for 5 years. It's been around for quite some time. It's a pump and dump. It's been around for years. I still have no idea what it is. But you know what I like about it? That. Look how awful it is. The most awful stocks are the ones that get squeezed. Look at this chart. Why would anybody want to own this? You don't. But you can trade it. Look at that chart. That's pretty freaking hilarious, actually. Oh, my God. Look at that. When you can't even see the chart at the bottom right, you know you got a dog shit stock, and those are the best. That's how you find SMXs. Remember SMX? You can't even see it. Look at that split adjusted price on SMX, 5 trillion. Mr. Jones, if you loved it at 5.6 trillion, you got to love it down here at $3. But look what it did a couple of weeks ago. It went from 3 to 500. And now it's back to 14. Imagine you didn't sell it. Oh, I thought it was going to go to 1,000. You see how much shit goes on every day? Certainly not about finding the next thing. The next trade is the next trade.
And it's not even about percentage gains, right? My dad could come in here and just buy 20,000 shares of something that's moving, make 20 cents. Not a lot of us can do that. He could out trade us just because he's got the money and the patience. It's all relative. If you're just getting started in this industry and you want to make money, learn VWAP and price action. Speaking of my dad, he owns this stock. So weird. My dad's in Eastman Chemical Company. He's been in this stock for a couple of years. Weird that it just went by, as I mentioned, my father. That's why I link with Live in the Matrix. And my dad, see, this is one of those stocks where he's been in this thing forever. Somebody put a bug in his ear, and I told him to sell it. He didn't want to sell it. And look at it, he gave back half the money already. As a matter of fact, it doesn't look too bad. Look at that. Little faux show bro on EMN. See, that's why I'm not a long-term investor. See, my dad's been in this trade probably around, he might be actually losing money on this trade at this point. I think he bought it around 65. He let this stock, look at that massive faux show. That's the crash of 20. Thing went to 130. He doesn't sell it. Same thing with the Oracle. I mean, it's irresponsible that my dad didn't sell it, after that crazy move. But you see, even guys that are rich and smart still make dumb trades. Not selling it. My dad's been in Oracle for 27 years. What are you, out of your mind? You're not taking a thing that was gapped up 40%. I wish I could have figured out his password because I would have sold it right out of his account. He keeps changing his password. He's hip to my trying to get him to sell the Qs for the last 3 years. 80-year-old guy is in 100% growth. But you know what? It's working. I think I've told him I've suggested to sell the Qs at least 20 or 30 times, and each time I've been wrong because we keep going higher. Feel me? It's not about being right or wrong. It's about doing as best as you can, understanding price mechanics, price action, and then listening to me, get familiar with solid jello, and you'll be set for the rest of your days. When you truly understand the nature of the market, and when you truly understand that it's all bullshit, all of it. We're sticking and moving, Rock. Stick and move. Stick and move. Stick and move. Thoughts on how to short UVXY? Just short it. But you could do what I'm doing. I'm sitting here and I'll tell you exactly what I'm doing. So if you are able to, and not everybody can do this trade, that's why I don't talk about it. Like the guy on the TikTok who talks about how he can make a living selling puts. No, you can't. Nobody's making a living selling puts. How much money you need to sell puts and make a living at it? You need hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars to let positions sit around and collect premium. Guy makes it sound like it's so easy. Anybody could do it. No, you can't. But UVXY, you could sell naked calls on it because the thing always reverts down. So what I do is anytime it spikes big, I go out 3 months and I'll sell the $100 calls. So here, September, see the $100 calls right there? They're $4 by $650. That's me. 2 contracts, $629. That's $1,200. You know what these will be in September? 0. And I'll get to keep those $1,200. But I only do 2 contracts because I'm working my way up to probably 10 or 20 of these. So I'm hoping that this goddamn market will go down one day and UVXY spikes back to 50 or 60, and these go to like $15 or $20. And then we sell 3 or 4 of them. And hopefully UVXY rips to like 80 or 90. And these go to $40 or $50 a contract. I'll sell a couple more and then wait. Because inevitably they'll go back to 0. That's how I do it. But I can't do it now because this thing's already down 50% in the last 3 weeks. Oh, sorry, month and a half. But not everybody could do that. That's why I don't talk about it a lot.
And the people that know, and the people that were able to, were all making money on it. And just short UVXY. You could short the stock. The only thing that's not good is buying puts because they charge you so much because they know the thing goes to zero all the time. See where I'm going? You understand now a little bit more? Ain't about picks, ain't about long-term investing. It's about understanding this price mechanic, VWAP, selling into moves, raising your stop. If you're short, covering on the way down, lowering your stop. Here, wait, I got another short for you. Hold on. Nope, sorry, I missed it. Oh, actually didn't miss it yet. So here's another pump and dump, right? This was, I don't know if it's a pump and dump or whatnot, but anytime I see a stock that's gone 100%, I look to short. This one's been on my list, but I missed a chunk of it already. 1818, I'd be covering right now 50% of it already. So if it bounces and rolls, yeah, maybe. But one thing's for sure, man. Try to avoid shorting the Qs. It's a terrible trade. By the way, another biotech stock that's up. Again, it's not like ALMS, it's only up 12%, but this one was up over 100% for the week. Susceptible to some selling. And then what do? You wait for the VWAP breaks, identify your risk. Here, so this trade, let me show you. So let's say you're sitting here going, all right, when do I short it? There you go. Test VWAP, tries to rally, doesn't break a new high, and then it rolls short it using this and that as your out, target orange line. Right? But the important part of this trade was there, where it broke VWAP, came back and couldn't get over it. Confirms that the shorter has got the upper hand. John Doe's got the upper hand. John Doe's got the upper hand. At least somebody knows what I'm talking about. I think we lost this guy. Monroe, you still here? Monroe. Jackie. Sarah. If you know that reference, you watched too much TV when you were a kid. Jackie. Monroe. Close. Same guy, different show. I forgot the name of the show. He had two hot daughters. Monroe. The gay guy, Bullock, was on the show. He had the two hot daughters and his wife, Burial. Just too close for comfort? All right. So what was the show with the janitor? The guy who had the cigarettes on his sleeve? What was that show? No. Good guess. What was his name? Schneider? Oh, one day at a time. Right. Too close for comfort, one day at a time. Yes. Oh, you guys are more nerdy than I am. Yes. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. So, wait a minute. Wasn't there two hot daughters in that show too? Am I mixing up both of those shows? One, he was a comic drawer. He Cosmic Cow, Muriel, Sarah. Hmm. Meanwhile, he was also the voice of the Star Super Friends. Meanwhile, wait, what was one day at a time? All right, she was a hardworking single mom with the. I can't remember now. Oh, Valerie Bertinelli and Mackenzie Phillips. Yes. Wait a minute. Wait, which show was that? I'm all confused now. Sarah. All right. One day at a time was Mackenzie Phillips Schneider, the redhead single mom. Right. So, who was the daughter in? Good. Too close for comfort. Wait. Too close for comfort. Wow, that's so weird. They actually look alike. That's why I'm confused. And her name was Deborah von Valkenburg. Yes, from the Warriors. She was in the Warriors. That's her. All right, it's all come together now. Even though we lost this guy, right? You still around? Did you buy NVTS? Like, look at me, I'm a genius. I gave you one idea. Did you buy it yet? I told you it was going to double this year. Did you buy it? Look, since I told you to buy it, look, it's ripping. Look, did you buy it? You were looking for an idea. Here it is. I gave it to you. Woo! Meanwhile, see? Just proved my point. You're not going to trade anyway, right? Did you put the trade on? Did you buy 10,000 shares of NVTS at $9.70 when I mentioned it? Come on. I just gave you a stock that's going to go 1,000x. Did you buy it? Guy left. You left, right? Didn't you? It was actually Otis, the guy that was trying to. Remember that guy? He was so angry I had nothing to sell him that day. What's your ROI? ROI on what? How about that SOPA trade? You buy that one? Come on. How many winners can I give you in a day? Where were you? You don't like faux show, bro? VWAP rate? There you go. SOPA. We're waiting all day, right? So since we're sitting here, the two stocks that I mentioned are ripping. Did you buy them? You're sitting here. What you want to know what's going on? Here you go. And that's my time. So I'm just trying to help my man. If you're here, if you're listening to me, right? I just gave you two trades, right? You asked for them. I said, here, NVTS, SOPA. And you're probably just sitting here, looking at the cues or something, or looking at pictures of By the way, I have a poster of my son had this poster in his dorm room of that blonde chick. Anybody want it? I don't like her at all. What's this girl's name? What's her talent? What the hell's her name? Sydney Sweeney? Awful. Like, what's her talent? She's supposed to be a singer or an actor. What does she do? She's not even good looking. She's goofy looking. You guys want a poster of her? No, but I do have my Heather Thomas posters. Oh, bro, I still have all my blacklight posters from when I used to trip on acid. I have the coolest posters, man. Some of these posters are worth hundreds of dollars. They're like legitimately blacklight posters from the 70s. There used to be this great poster shop called Disco Rama. It was a record shop and poster place in Village. My room was filled with all kinds of crazy shit. I used to come home from the raves and just my whole room was all just tripped out. Yeah, Sydney Sweeney's goofy looking. She's got nothing on Heather Thomas or Heather Locklear for that matter. Come on. You want to talk about ladies. What other posters did you have in your room? I had Carol Alt. Remember her? Carol Alt. Phenomenal. I also had, what's her name from Weird? I had the Weird Science poster. Who didn't have that poster? All right, that's my time. Don't forget to tip your bartender. His name is Solid. He'll be here all week. He works for tips. And listen, if you stayed with that SOPA trade, look at it. You did much better than I even did. Faux show, bro. Great new entry. I think I scared that guy away. It's all right. It's not for everybody. Good luck, my friends. Stay healthy. I'm going back to sleep. I'll see you guys in the morning. And if that guy shows up again, look what I just gave you. Look what I just gave you on the SOPA and the NVTS. Can't do much more than that. I'm going to go Carol Alt, right? That was her name. Those are very nice shoes. Ah, those were such fun days. Posters. I had just girls and Schwarzenegger. That's all I had. There it is. Oh, Carol Alt. Come on, everybody. I don't want to get all crazy with you, but yes, Carol Alt. If you don't remember her, you should. How about this SOPA trade, right? You see why the faux show bro is so important? Because everybody who didn't make money earlier, or worse, the shorters who said, oh, this stock's going to zero, and they get crushed because shorting is short-lived and they're going to die. All right, be careful, y'all. I'll see you guys maybe at 3, but probably tomorrow. And how about that sell and Sid you at $5 also, huh? What a day, right? Not too often when you're selling stocks at highs, too. Pretty awesome. All right, be careful out there, people. Laters. I'll see you guys. Thanks for hanging out, Internet. Make sure you follow me on TikTok, too. I've been having some fun doing TikTok lives. I'm still at Hit the Bid Radio there, too. Yeah, I never had the Pam Anderson. And that was like, she was like, it was already Baywatch. Yeah, I wasn't into her. Yeah, Heather Thomas. That was my girl from Fall Guy.